Look at this beautiful dish. Wow. So my mum's going to teach me how to make an authentic chicken karahi the easy way, and you're welcome to join us. For more recipes and everything curry related, definitely check out currylish.com. To serve 4, you're going to need a medium chicken. Have the leg and thigh cut into 2 pieces. We're also going to need 2 onions, 3 large tomatoes, chili powder, turmeric powder, coriander powder, salt and pepper, garlic and ginger paste, and half a lime is all you need for the karahi. For garnishing, we're going to have 3 chilies, some fresh coriander, a small slice of ginger, and finally some cumin powder. Let's start by cutting our onions. It might be worth mentioning that people normally only use tomatoes and they don't use onions at all, but this gives the karahi a very tangy flavour, so we're going to tone down the tanginess and up the onionness. Once you're done cutting your onions, put them in the karahi, ready to cook in a short while. Let's peel and cut some tomatoes. Now our tomatoes were frozen, so we needed to use a little warm water just to loosen up the peel, but they come off nice and easy. Use whichever method suits you. Chop the tomatoes and remove that core from the center. It's definitely not palatable. So while we're here, we may as well prepare our garnishing. Let's chop our coriander and cut our chilies into tiny little chili rings. Now we're julienning our ginger. That's a fancy way of saying cut your ginger into matchstick-like strips. Now that all the prep work is done, we're ready to cook. But before we start cooking, you may want to take a look at the link in the description below. If you haven't already got a karahi, there's an amazing one available at Amazon.com. Now it may not be exactly the same as mine, since mine is so old, but it is aluminium. It's large, it's deep, and it's quite sturdy. Most importantly, however, it comes with a lid. You're going to need a lid, and you'll see why when we get to cooking. You may be interested in this spatula then. The spatula is steel. It's sturdy, better than those plastic types, and it won't flop around when you scrape the sides of the karahi. Let's get back to cooking then. We're going to put our garlic and ginger paste into the karahi with our onions, and we're going to add some oil. Pro cook tip here, we're going to add some salt, not for flavoring, but to help the onions cook. About a tablespoon should be fine, and put the lid on top and turn the heat on very high. We use the largest burner on our cooker. A minute or 2 in and we're going to throw in our chicken. We're going to let it cook still at high heat. And since it's cooking at high heat, you want to keep stirring. Just keep stirring. Because if you stop stirring, the chicken's going to stick to the base of the karahi, and we really don't want that. Okay, this is not charcoal chicken karahi. It's just chicken karahi. And by the way, in Urdu this process is called bhunna. What a funny word. Bhunna. Now this is where that steel spatula comes handy, because the plastic floppy one is just not going to work. We're about 7 or 8 minutes in and we've started to put in our spices. We have about a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and about a teaspoon of coriander powder. We're still on high heat here, so keep stirring. Okay, the high heat might make your chicken want to escape. But it's important to contain the contents to the karahi. So we stirred for another 2 minutes and we threw in our tomatoes. And we're 10 minutes in and guess what? We keep stirring. Okay, tomatoes hold a lot of water, so you're going to see some water build up as you're stirring. We've reached a milestone. The chicken should take about 10 minutes to cook, but the challenge now is to control the amount of water that gets reduced by turning the heat down and controlling the water build up with a lid. So we keep checking every minute or 2 to see how the karahi is doing. Hey karahi. Yeah? How you doing? Now I don't mean to complicate things, but if after 10 minutes or so the water is still quite high, turn the heat up and get the water gone. But ours turned out perfectly fine, I must say. Now since we used onions and tomatoes and not just tomatoes, we're going to squeeze half a lime over our karahi just to give it a little tang. We sprinkle over about half a teaspoon of pepper and give it a little stir. Finally we garnish our chicken karahi with chopped coriander, julienned ginger, our cute little chili rings, and a teaspoon of cumin powder. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. For presentation points, serve in the karahi that you cooked in. Serve with naan, yogurt, and a little bit of salad. Comment and let me know how it turned out.